Alright guys, this is a really important video for the entirety of Reptile Club. You've got these oil shortages coming, I think, next year. Like a minute, oil price is fairly cheap, around 69, 70 bucks a barrel, WTI, West Texas Intermediate. And I think you're going to have the beginning of these oil prices. Oil prices are going to steadily climb, and then they're going to shoot up. And I think they're going to start beginning to shoot up September 2025. I think. I don't definitely know. And I've been telling all of Reptile Club, we've established now, Dave's established that there are no monkey men. The furthest monkeys got was chimps, gorillas and things like that. So there are no monkey men, it's all reptilians on this earth. And I've been telling you to put your money in wisdomtree CRUD. But I think because you've got these grey aliens, these greys, 4-foot greys, that control all your computer tech, and I think they control your financial industry as well. The only person, or one of the few people on this earth, who's been able to put his money into wisdomtree CRUD is Dave Genvy, and a few other maybe like powerful people like Bill Gates and people like that, Elon Musk. They might be able to put their money in wisdomtree CRUD, but the rest of you can't, even though I've been telling you every week to do it. And a lot of you, I think, have been really worried about this situation of this communist great reset that's coming, where oil prices go through the roof, and then food prices go through the roof, and then a lot of you starve to death. I didn't realise, because your grey alien overlords won't let you talk to me and communicate with me in an open and honest way, I didn't know that you couldn't put your money in wisdomtree CRUD. But I think the answer is actually to use cryptocurrency to do it, but I'm not 100% sure. So I can just use UK pounds or US dollars to buy wisdomtree CRUD and link my money to the price of crude oil. But I don't think your average reptilian on the street can do that. But it's supposedly that cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin and Ethereum and stuff like that, it's supposed to be untraceable. So it's supposed to be an untraceable currency. That's why criminals like it. But it might be what I need to tell you, what I needed to figure out, a test by the greys to see how smart is Dave Genvy. You know, he's supposed to be the Antichrist here working for God. How smart is he? So it's like a test for me to figure out that I need to tell you what you need to do with your money, your UK pounds, your US dollars, and whatever other currency it is. Put it into something like Bitcoin or another cryptocurrency. Then get a trading platform, like an online trade. I mean, I use Hargreaves Lansdown. That's the trading platform I used, but I don't think they take cryptocurrency. So you need a trading platform like Hargreaves Lansdown, but that takes cryptocurrency. And then you should be able to, because cryptocurrency is supposedly untraceable, you should hopefully be able to buy wisdomtree CRUD then. Link your money to the price of crude oil, and then when crude oil goes up through the roof, you're financially not totally destroyed. There's actually this article on the BBC News that was posted January 2024, so the beginning of this year. It's the 29th of December 2024 at the minute. It was posted 10th of January this year. Bitcoin crypto fans can now invest in exchange traded funds, right? Well, that exchange traded funds, that is essentially what wisdomtree CRUD is. So you got wisdomtree CRUD here, right? This is wisdomtree CRUD. This is on Hargreaves Lansdown's website. Wisdomtree CRUD. and it's labelled as an ETN at the minute. Now, it used to be an ETC. So an ETC was an exchange-traded commodity. Now the aliens have changed it to exchange-traded note instead of an ETC. But it's the same principle as an exchange-traded fund. You know, it's saying here, like I say, it's saying here on the BBC. On the BBC, you know, you can use crypto to buy exchange-traded funds. So that's what this is. You know, it is an ETN. It's exchange-traded note, but it used to be an ETC, exchange-traded commodity, because oil is a commodity in the commodity market. The aliens have changed it, I think, to take the piss out of Dave Genvy, because what was supposed to happen in the aliens' minds, what was going to happen, was if Dave Genvy figured out that he needed to put his money into crude oil, what he wouldn't figure out is to tell everyone else to put their money into crypto and then put it into wisdomtree CRUD. I've only figured it out last night, because you don't communicate with me. If you just told me, yeah, we can't put our money into that wisdomtree CRUD, Dave, the banking system won't let us. It's let you do it, but it won't let us do it. If you just talked to me with simple English like that and told me, then I would have thought, shit, what can they do? And I've just kind of had to figure it out myself, that they can't actually put their money in wisdomtree CRUD. That's why a lot of people are looking pretty miserable, because they're dreading this communist reset that's coming with these oil shortages, and thinking we're actually going to fucking starve. And what the aliens were going to do, what the Greys were going to do, after that happens, they're going to take the piss out of me and say, what you should have told them, Dave, is to put their money in crypto, which is untraceable, and you should know that. And then use the crypto money to then buy wisdomtree CRUD. You see, someone like Dave Genvy would avoid, I told you in prior videos, to avoid cryptocurrency like the plague. And that's the right advice for Dave Genvy. But it's these grey aliens who are being cunts, basically, who are trying to have a situation where Dave Genvy's blamed for a lot of you starving. Dave Genvy sort of figured it out. Dave Genvy's supposed to be the big man. He's supposed to be Satan. I am Satan. I'm supposed to be the Antichrist. He should have figured it out. Well, like I say, I think these oil shortages are going to get really quite bad beginning in September 2025. I don't definitely know, but it's going to happen fairly soon. So I'm hoping I'm right on this. There is an avenue for you to avoid financial destruction, and it's through cryptocurrency and then using that to purchase wisdomtree CRUD. I think they actually changed this thing here, an ETN. They changed it from an ETC to an ETN, exchange traded notes. Got it on here, exchange. So they changed it from a commodity to a note, exchange traded note, to represent suicide notes. So it was the aliens taking the piss, saying, a lot of people are going to have to kill themselves when they can't afford food. They're going to have to write a little suicide note. These aliens need getting on a tight leash. What needs to happen is I need to get down NASA and start designing space tech that allows us to get those little grey bitches on a fucking dog leash. Because those little cunts, them little grey bitches have been running wild. They've been acting like proper pieces of shit. And they need brought under control with maximum terror and violence. That's how it needs to be. Because you don't want to wipe them out. You don't want to genocide, totally exterminate the Greys, because they have designed all your computer tech. And all your technology is from the Greys. You don't invent stuff because you're fairly stupid. But so you want to keep them for that. But but you need to run them bitches right. Them little grey bitches need to be run in the right way. And it's looking like how they've acted, there needs to be maximum terror of those little grey bitches. I'm really pissed off with how they've acted towards humanity. They've had you doing some stupid stuff. So anyway, so yeah, this was going to be exchanged. It's a change from David figured it out. He'd figured out to put it in this ETC. So then they said, but you haven't figured out to tell them to put their money in crypto and then put it in this exchange traded note. So this is now going to be their suicide note, because they're going to be, you know, having to kill themselves and all of that. They play little word games. They have loads of little numbers games and word games, these greys. And this suicide, the letters meant Satan, upset, idiot, cunt, imbecile, David. Obviously my name's David. Eves, naughty, O for hole, or maybe orifice. Terminally, and then E, elapsed, expired. Basically what they're saying was all these attractive women that want to have sex with Dave Genvy, they've all had to kill themselves, write a little suicide note, because they couldn't afford to feed themselves after the Great Reset hit. And these oil shortages, because they will make food prices go up. But hopefully, if you get your savings into crypto and then get yourselves into wisdomtree CRUD, hopefully that's the avenue that you can use to protect yourself. I'm hoping so. Because that's the best I've got to come up with. The Greys have rigged the whole financial system. But it's because they wanted to take the piss out of Dave Genvy. They wanted to meet Dave Genvy at a later date and say, ha ha ha, Dave, you're not that smart. You didn't figure out that. You thought crypto was terrible. But no, it's terrible for you, Dave Genvy, but not for everyone else. They needed it to purchase the wisdomtree CRUD, and you didn't figure that out. Well, I have figured it out now, Greys. What I want to ask the fucking grey bitches, whoever your fucking king is, because this is the other thing, I think they're patriarchal. I'm not fully sure, but I think the Greys are run by male Greys. But what they've done with your society is they've got your kings into these little cock cages with these little Prince Albert piercings and made your society matriarchal. Because under patriarchy, you get the Romans, and the Romans are really, really, really scary bully boys, which the little grey bitch men, the little grey boys, are fucking terrified of. And I'm a fucking Roman. I believe in patriarchy. I think the Greys are patriarchal, but they've turned you into a matriarchal society to sissify you, to make you like pussies, wimps. When obviously you need the opposite in the stars, but they want to do that so they can try and control you. They wanted to get, you know, all your powerful men into cock cages and ruled over by women and matriarchy to make you soft little bitches. That's what matriarchy does. It makes your men into wimps. Patriarchy makes your men into big, scary, tough motherfuckers. And that is what you need in the stars. I was going to say, if you've got a pension, so say like you've got a pension. Say I've got a pension with Hargreaves Lansdowne, right? And I've got a load of money in it. I wish I'd never started it because I can't get my money out till I'm fucking, you know, in my 60s or something, or my late 50s. But I've got a pension with Hargreaves Lansdowne, and that money in that pension is in wisdomtree CRUD, right? And wisdomtree BRNT, which I don't think you put your money into anymore. But wisdomtree CRUD you can. But for you might not be able to do that. So maybe what you need to do is move your entire pension to a different trading platform that deals with cryptocurrency, right? And then exchange all that investment whatever investments you've currently got your pension in, with stocks and shares and bonds probably. Put all that investment into cryptocurrency, and then put all that investment into wisdomtree CRUD. Look at this, the aliens, the little fairy boy aliens. Look, they've got this bitch boy ringing me. See that? He's a little fucking, that little pussy hole. They have this little bitch boy ring me, who's got his dick in a cock cage, and he's got one of them Prince Albert piercings. That's what their no-caller ID. What does chastity and Prince Albert piercings turn you into? It turns you into Gollum. You know Gollum from Lord of the Rings? He's there with a ring. Oh, the one ring. Oh, licking this fucking ring or whatever, kissing it. My precious. Oh. It turns you into Gollum. It turns you from being a big, badass, scary man into a Gollum. I'm not saying you shouldn't do female domination sex games, but they should be very short-lived. It's got to be men that are the bosses. You know, you do a short-lived little sex game where your woman's in charge for half an hour, and then you jizz, and then you get the power back. But they have a little bitch boy ring me on a no-caller ID, a little Gollum. Because I think the Greys want to turn you into Gollums, because Gollums are weak and pathetic and easily dominated and controlled. And the Greys, you know, they're skinny little bitches with big pulsating heads. They want to turn humanity into that. Are you called humanity or called reptilians? Whatever the fuck you're called. I'm calling you humanity. But yeah, you're evolved from reptiles. I've figured that out. You're all evolved from reptiles. The monkeys did. Well, the monkeys have just got to being chimps. So, yeah, if you've got a pension, like I say, you might need to move it from the trading platform you're on to one that uses cryptocurrency, and then get it all into crypto, and then from there get it all into wisdomtree CRUD. I'm hoping you can do that. Crypto's supposed to be untraceable. It's supposed to be outside of the banking system. Like I say, Dave Genvy wouldn't use it, because Dave Genvy just wants to use his pounds, his UK pounds, and buy wisdomtree CRUD. But you can't do that, I think. It's a little trick by the Greys to make me look bad. And you've got time to do this, because at the minute oil is cheap, $69 a barrel, cheap as chips, that is, for your master resource that runs the whole economy. That is cheap as chips. So you've got time to do this. I don't think it's till September, but I could be wrong on that. It could be a bit sooner. But you've got time, is what I'm saying. I think it's September they're going to start cranking these oil prices up. And what will happen if you haven't got your money in wisdomtree CRUD? They're just going to go out of your reach, and then food prices are going to go out your reach. I think to make food prices sky high, they have to make oil go through the stratosphere to make food prices really crank up massively. The other thing I was going to say is, if you do make a shitload of money in crude oil, right, through this using crypto to purchase wisdomtree CRUD, please don't go out spending recklessly, because we've only got one Earth. I'm not going to be spending a lot. I'll just buy what I need. Food, keep a roof over my head. I won't be spending any more money. I possibly might get a car, an old car or something. I haven't got a car at the minute. Possibly might splash out on that. But I'm not going to be spending, like, buying loads of stuff. Remember, we've only got so much natural resources on this Earth. It's very selfish to do that. It really pisses me off massively, these billionaires, tech billionaires and people like that, who buy themselves super yachts, or even a fleet of super yachts. I'm not going to name names, because they pretty much all seem to buy super yachts, and it's such a selfish use of natural resources. I mean, I don't expect them to live like peasants when you're a billionaire, but fucking hell, come on. You know, you're taking the piss. When we've only got one Earth, you know what I mean? It's not like we're getting new Earths left and right, and we're just dominating in the stars, even then you probably shouldn't be having so much natural resources all to yourself. It's very selfish when there's other people on this earth who've got next to fuck all. You need to see the bigger picture, you know what I mean? So that's my advice. Please don't go spending crazy. If this does work, I'm not fully sure, because all my money, I've never used crypto. All my money's already in wisdomtree CRUD and wisdomtree BRNT. Like I say, you can't put into that one anymore. All my money's already in there. So I've never used crypto. I don't know anything really about it that much. I do know that Bitcoin is very high in terms of price at the minute. So let's get Bitcoin. You see, Bitcoin at the minute, here it's going back a few years, it's sky high. But there are other cryptocurrencies. There's Ethereum. I don't know a lot about these cryptocurrencies, but there's Ethereum, and you see it is high, but it's not too crazy high. Whereas Bitcoin, you know, it's through the roof. If you want to buy, if you want to do this, you know, it's probably a good idea to get your money into wisdomtree CRUD any way you can. You don't want to be in that cryptocurrency for long. You want to buy the cryptocurrency, and then as quickly as you can buy the wisdomtree CRUD. You don't want to, because it's volatile. You know, Bitcoin be quite volatile and have quite a steep dip. You don't want to be in it for long. You want to be in, you want to get that money into the wisdomtree CRUD, and it may be you have to go through crypto to do it. I'm hoping that's the case. So you don't want to be in it for long. What you might want to do, this is a good idea, is test this whole system by just purchasing a small amount of crypto. Say you get a small amount of Bitcoin, couple hundred quid's worth or whatever, and then you use that couple hundred quid to then buy wisdomtree CRUD, right? And see how quick, you know, just get used to doing it, know how to do it before you use big chunks of money to do it. You get what I mean? Before you put in like 10 grand of Bitcoin to then quickly move it into the wisdomtree CRUD. Start off, just have a practice at doing it with a small amount of money. And if you fuck anything up, you know, you've not lost too much money, you know what I mean? So you might want to do that first before you start throwing in big chunks of your savings in. I'm trying to prevent you from starving. I don't want to see you starve. I don't want to see kids starving. In a Great Reset, that's what's supposed to happen. When you have oil shortages, you're going to have shortages at the petrol pump. You might have food shortages, but hopefully you can afford the food that there is. You know, because oil powers your whole economy. Your economy is supposed to be powered by free energy, which I've already done. I've got a working experiment of free energy upstairs in my workshop, Satan's workshop. So that's the situation. I think I've explained everything, and hopefully that helps a lot of people. I'm hoping that works. Like I say, I haven't tried it myself, but I'm thinking that's what the aliens, that was their little test for me to see if I figure it out. It's no good me saying put your money in wisdomtree CRUD and the banking system not letting you do it. You know what I mean? I'm not helping you there. So hopefully this solution of using crypto first will help you. And you've got multiple months, I think, to get it done. So you've got time on your side, and oil prices are still cheap at the minute. Okay, so hopefully that helps. Okay, back in October this year, 2024, I uploaded my 9th guitar lesson. And all it is a lesson just teaching you about different UK guitarists, who I consider some of the greatest UK guitarists, and trying to point young people in the direction of good guitar music. because God in heaven wants you to write better songs. The standard of songwriting at the minute is pretty fucking terrible, particularly in pop music, really shit. And the standard needs to increase, needs to improve. And it'll help if you get good on guitar. It'll help you in doing that, writing better songs. Unfortunately, the Greys, I blamed it on the Windsors. That video got took down, and I blamed it on the Windsors. The Windsors, which are matriarchal, they're run by the women, not by the men. The men are just in cock cages, in Prince Albert piercings. They're just little bitches, so they ain't got any power. I thought back a while ago that it was the Windsors who took that video down, but it was actually the Greys. The Greys are skinny little fairy boys. The Greys are very skinny bodies. They're very smart, but they're actually little bitches. And they get very jealous of, say, someone like Jimi Hendrix. Big dude, tall, apparently had a big cock, according to the groupies, and amazing on guitar. The Greys, skinny little weak dudes, probably couldn't even have a guitar slung around their neck because it would make them fall over, it'd be too heavy for them. On top of that, they got these big long fingers, really weird long fingers on their hands, which mean maybe good at making intricate tools and stuff like that, and doing things like building up motherboards in computers, but not very good at playing the guitar. The neck, the fretboard on the guitar is too narrow for them. And they'll look at someone like Jimi Hendrix and hate him. They hate anyone that's a bad motherfucker. That's why they didn't like the Romans. They didn't like the Romans purely out of jealousy because they're bad motherfuckers. They're scary motherfuckers. They're badasses. And that's exactly what the Greys aren't. They're short, skinny, weak, little bitches. My bitches. To rule in this life and the fucking next life. And those little cunts, those little grey cunts have been... they took my video down, my Guitar Lesson 9, and they've been messing around with society no end. I think they had Jimi Hendrix killed. They did a little numbers game. They like to do numbers games because they're little fairy boy bitches. They did a little numbers game that tried to incriminate the Windsors. And they also had, so they had Jimi Hendrix killed. I think they also had Keith Moon. He was a drummer for The Who. And I think they also had John Bonham killed. And the whole thing was they wanted to take down Jimi Hendrix because he was amazing on guitar, got a big cock, dicking down loads of groupies. And so they wanted to take him down, right? Big cock Jimi Hendrix, who's amazing on the guitar, right? They want to take down Keith Moon, drummer, that looks like the top of a drum. They wanted to take down John Bonham, that looks like the top of the drum. To represent how the Greys, these little skinny bitches, fairy boys, rule over humanity and have your kings, like King Charles and William and Prince William and Prince Harry, in these cock cages and ruled over by women. So I think they had them three killed. They've done loads. I think the Greys have done loads of terrible stuff that's like very childish. It's often like a guitar, often electric guitar in particular, seen as like, you know, the body of the guitar is like the scrotum, and then the guitar neck and the guitar head's like a fucking penis. I don't really necessarily see it that way. I just see it as a guitar, but whatever, musical instrument. But that's how often it's interpreted by people. And if you're really good on guitar and you're a rock star, you often get a lot of pussy. And the Greys hate that. Because imagine a fucking Grey on stage with a guitar. It wouldn't even work with their fucking big long fingers. And they've got little skinny bodies. I don't think they'd be able to hold the fucking thing without falling over. They fucking couldn't be a rock star. Just like they couldn't be a bad motherfucker, Roman psycho nutjob that loves fighting. They couldn't be a rock star. And anything that's like badass, anything that's fucking badass in your society, they want to sissify and feminise. The Greys have been trying to sissify your society to quite a terrible extent now. And we need to change that. We need to reverse that. It needs to be back under patriarchy, back under the Romans, and it's all about being badass fighters. Yeah, it's all about being tough guys. The women have been making loads of fairy boys. They haven't helped. So I'm going to put my guitar lesson 9 up again as a fuck you to the Greys, ya little bitches. You're being sussed out left and right. And listen to me, Greys. Are you fucking listening, ya little bitches? You're from Zeta Reticuli, or supposedly that's where you're from. You're from Zeta Reticuli, right? And when we get a fucking interstellar, we're coming straight to your fucking planet, putting boots on bastard ground and using slap fucking forehead, but to put through your dainty little fucking faces. You're going to be ruled with maximum terror and maximum violence to get you to fucking well behave. You little cunts at the minute. You think you're all that and a bag of chips when you're absolute sweet fuck all. You've got no foot soldiers and you're going nowhere in the stars because you don't do fighting. And guess what? That's the only thing the Romans really want to do is fighting. That's what they dream about. That's what they have wet dreams about. Fucking violence, you fucking cunts. So get your heads screwed on right, you little grey bitches. So anyway, I'll play the Guitar Lesson 9 from October, and then it's the end of the video, yeah? This guitar lesson is trying to point young guitarists in the direction of good guitar music to try and find inspiration. Now, a lot of music today, particularly pop music, doesn't have very good guitar music in it. And I think a big problem has been the great guitarists of yesteryear haven't really done a whole lot to teach young kids how to play the guitar well. That's why I've done my series of lessons on YouTube for free to try and give kids a quick shortcut that's good, you know, to getting really good on guitar. Just trying to simplify it for them, make it really simple, so the guitar becomes an instrument that's a lot easier to play. But now I'm going to give you some examples of what I think are great UK guitarists. I like a lot of music from elsewhere outside the UK, but I just for fun decided to put together a list of guitarists that are great guitarists that are from the UK. So we're going to look at the list now. It's just on a piece of paper. So at the top of the list we've got John Squire. I put him at number 1. John Squire was in a band called the Stone Roses. Great band, well worth checking out. He's a great guitarist. I put him at number 1. A lot of people might be surprised by that, but he's a great guitarist. It's a great band, and it had a big impact on me as a young man, you know, when I was 16, 17. Number 2, I've got Jimmy Page. So he was in a band called Led Zeppelin. So the first band, the Stone Roses. Second band, Led Zeppelin. They're a great band. I'll put them on screen because you might not know how to spell them. These are bands, if you're a young kid learning the guitar, these are bands that you want to listen to, because you'll get inspiration on how to play guitar properly. Third guitarist, Johnny Marr, great guitarist from a band called the Smiths. Really unique guitarist, I think. Kind of different to anyone else that I've ever heard. Great guitarist. Johnny Marr from the Smiths. Number 4, I put in Keith Richards. Now, he's a great guitarist for the Rolling Stones. The Rolling Stones are a great band. He's probably the guitarist I probably sound like the most. When I play guitar, I kind of sound a bit similar, I think, to him. Sometimes. Because we've got some of the same influences. He was influenced by Chuck Berry. He's influenced by blues guitarists quite a lot. And I'm heavily influenced by Chuck Berry in terms of my guitar playing. I use a lot of double stops. That's something Chuck Berry was known for. And yeah, I play blues guitar quite a bit. So number 4, Keith Richards, the Rolling Stones. By the way, this list is just my opinion. This ain't coming from God. This is just the devil. So you make your own lists. You know what I mean? With who you think's the best. I've got number 5, Tony Iommi. So he was from a band called Black Sabbath, from Birmingham. So from the the city I live in, Birmingham. They're from North Birmingham. I'm from South Birmingham, but they were a great band, Black Sabbath. Tony Iommi, he's a great guitarist. So that's number 5. Number 6, I've got Brian May. So he's from Queen. I'm not massively into Queen, but I was when I was a kid. When I was a little kid, the first music that had any real impact on me as a little kid was Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen. Had a massive impact on me. It's a great song. And they are a great band. And he's a great guitarist, Brian May. I think their music's just a bit Jedi for me. As I said, I'm a bit of a Sith, being Satan. So I'm kind of more drawn to bands like, Black Sabbath, bands, Metallica, bands like that's an American band. Now, number 7, I've put myself, Dave Genvy, Satan, Lucifer, the devil himself. I've put at number 7 in best UK guitarists. Now that might be quite arrogant actually, because I have never recorded in a proper studio. I've only ever recorded my guitar work with my iPhone and put it on YouTube. But I've put myself in number 7. A lot of people say that's ridiculous because where's Eric Clapton? Yeah, Eric Clapton is in my notable mentions. So I've got this top 7 here. You know, I've got John Squire, Jimmy Page, Johnny Marr, Keith Richards, Tony Iommi, Brian May, Dave Genvy. Put myself number 7, a little bit arrogant. Now, notable mentions. Eric Clapton's the first name on there. So, yeah, you might want to check out Eric Clapton. He's had a great solo career. He was in a band called The Cream. He was also in a band called the Yardbirds. But I'm the devil in it, so I'm a bit of a naughty boy, and I've put myself in at number 7 instead of Eric Clapton. Most other people would probably put Eric Clapton there, but whatever. Who else have I got on the notable mentions? I've got Noel Gallagher of Oasis. I've got Paul Weller. He was in the Jam, and he's had a solo career. Steve Jones. He was in the Sex Pistols, great band. George Harrison of the Beatles. I put him in. You know, they're well worth listening to the Beatles. Possibly the greatest band of all time. David Gilmour, he's from Pink Floyd. Richie Blackmore, he's from Deep Purple. You got Steve Craddock. Now he worked with Oasis and Ocean Colour Scene, another band that I like. And Ocean Colour Scene were a Birmingham band too. Mark Knopfler, he was in the Dire Straits, and he's had his solo career. And now a name you might not recognise, Martin Ace Kent. He was in a band called Skunk Anansie. That's a band that's got some good songs, and I felt some of the guitar in that was pretty cool when I was a young lad listening to him. So yeah, he's a pretty good guitarist as well. But that's my list of best UK guitarists that I could think of off the top of my head. I've probably missed multiple guys who should be on there too, but that's all that would fit on. That's all the names that would fit on that piece of paper. So anyway, if you check out those bands, if you're a young kid learning guitar, if you check out those bands and listen to that music, you're going to hear good guitar music. That's you're not going to hear much of that music in the pop charts now. I'm trying to change this situation, because the reason I feel there's more than one reason why the music industry is not doing that great at the minute. One, because they're not making much money, because all the music's having to go free on YouTube and Spotify. So, but I've talked in the previous episodes about how to sort that. You know, with new music's possibly having to pay for, but it becoming free over time. But the other reason, the young kids just haven't been taught how to play the guitar properly. That's the main thing. It's been really made difficult to learn how to play guitar. And like I say, I want to change that. You get more good guitarists, young kids becoming really good guitarists, you're going to get more good music, more good songs written. And that's going to please God in heaven, obviously. So yeah, those might be bands that are well worth checking out. And that's the end of the guitar lesson. Just give you some music to take a look at. Alright guys, that's the end of the video, and I'll see you in the next one.